Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Taimanin. Today, we're gonna check another VR builds, but before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So, for these VR builds, we're gonna be combining two limited packs in order to support demons. This is very limited. I don't know if most people will be able to do it. Some will be able to take advantage of this. But let me show you what we're doing here in order to create on VR on higher steps. So, we're going to be using Annerose, Lapis, and Astaroth. For Annerose, we're going to be using her limited set. I know it's not the most popular thing in the world, but we're going to take advantage of that. So, first of all, stats and custom stats, then the weapon. The weapon is going to be Bouquet Sword 5 out of 5, plus 15, and this is going to increase the range and pulling speed of Darkness, as well as buffing all the allies within Darkness. They're going to receive an increased critical rate of 50%, which is very high, and a damage increase of 20%. The issue here is the frequency which Annerose is going to use this skill. That's the only issue, but there's ways to circumvent that, and we're gonna check that. So, for the sub weapon, I have a Crimson Weapon, 5 out of 5 plus 13, whatever Magatamas on the sub slot, Anti-Demon on the main, Ice and Fire. And for skills, well, here we have Darkness, the most important skill of the set, because that's the one that's going to enable your main attacker and also buff the whole team, while we have the skill active. It lasts 4 seconds and it has a 16-second cooldown. That's not great when this is an important component of the strategy. So, what can we do to increase the frequency in which we use this skill? First of all, you could equip a green supporter in the form of Tempest Lina, because that would allow you to have to cycle faster into this skill, but you will be losing damage, and we don't want that. Another thing that you can use is just remove one of your skills. You can go with only one skill, or you can go with the basic enhancer. Here I'm using Devour, but I'm actually going to give up Devour in favor of the basic enhancer, so that this character only uses Fang Strength and Darkness. Basically, it's going to have two options for skills, and it's going to constantly use Darkness as soon as it can. So, other than that, if you have extra slots, you could equip a Action Bound. Sure, it is good. Not the greatest, but usable. The defense increase is nice. Devour is also a good option, and yeah, that's about it. Madocent, it is there if you want. It's a utility pick, but we're facing Queen Arachne, so we don't care that much about the debuff. For supporters, I'm using Lapis, but if I was able to equip something else that buffed my whole team, I would be using something else, because this Lapis is going to increase the defense of my demon type allies, which is nice, but it's not what I want. I want more critical rate or attack. So right now I don't have a better option, but in the future, if I get something better, I will use it. So the important thing is that by equipping this on the main, we're gonna be able to get damage reduction. Yeah, damage reduction and speed increase on this character. We're also using Onigumo and Kirara. If you don't have Kirara, go for Arabella. Arabella is a pretty F2P option that you can get, well, that you may have. And it basically does the same. Kirara has extra HP recovery, but that's about it. So, yeah, this is the build for Annerose. What about Lapis? First, let's change that. Where are you? Yeah, the good one. So, these are the stats from the customs, the stat training, and for her, 2 weapons, 5 out of 5, plus 15. We're going to be using Bright Annerose so that we can enable this weapon, as usual. We're going to be using Water and Fire Anti-Demon Magatamas. and whatever Magatemas on the sub slot. For skills, since we're going with the Momochi weapon, we're gonna be using Piercing Dash, Gem Support, Moral Boost, the classic. And here, we're using Worshipper Lapis to help out the whole team. And we're gonna be using Bribe Annerose as well to guarantee those crits on the Lapis so that she can reduce the defense of the enemy. By equipping Worshipper Lapis, we also get another defense reduction onto the enemy, which is gonna enhance the damage of Astaroth. That's why it's super important to use this. And it also, by putting it on the main, increases the critical rate of demon type characters, and all of these characters are demon. Lastly, Arabella. Arabella to increase damage. You can equip whatever you want. You can equip, like, for example, if you don't have Arabella, you can equip Nana, you can equip Sakuya, or for damage increase, you can equip Lilim, if I can find Lilim, that is. I know that she's near. She should be close, but I don't see her. Ah, here she is, Lilim. So yeah, there's options for Lapis, because being Protect and Demon is very useful. And yeah, that's it. That's it for Lapis. She's going to heal both of them, because Annerose could heal by using the power, but we're not gonna use it. Instead, she's gonna be a DPS supporter. This is another DPS supporter, and this is a pure DPS, which can go with two colors depending on what you want to do. Astaroth, these are his stats and custom stats. Then we have the weapon. Obviously, a weak start weapon. This is the best option for VR. So Astaroth is a great option, probably the best demon, but we also have Spinel in case you want to go red. This is Anti-Demon Wind, whatever Magatamas, both 5 out of 5, both plus 15. And we're gonna use Fire Weight, Serpent Blaze. There's a reason for using Serpent Blaze, even though we don't activate the effect, the attack pattern is super good. It is just one of the best attacks in the game, because it tracks the enemies. And lastly, Hell Blaze to inflict damage. And the fact that we're going crit on VR with this color, it is great because we actually get that damage increase whenever we pair it with darkness. Now, for supporters, we start with Lina, an F2P supporter that you can get on the gacha. Very, very good. It gives you probably the most attack out of standard supporters. Well, not really. Like, there's obviously Fujutsuki, which we're using, but this is one of the best. So it's gonna give us 48% damage increase against the enemy. And Fujutsuki has advantages and disadvantages. Yes, it gives the most damage out of all supporters, but the issue is that you have to build up that damage, so you have to chase those enemies. And that's part of the reason why we use Serpent Blaze. But even so, you still have to chase the mobs so that you can increase your own damage. Then, we're going to be using Spinel. Spinel is going to enhance the damage of everyone else by 28%, and that's why we have this supporter. It is very good, the active. It's a shame that the passive is not as good, but I mean, we can manage. So, let's see. Let's test it very quickly. It's gonna be super cool. The thing is that I am not dealing enough damage, I think, depending on the effects. So, as I mentioned, I have to chase those mobs, unfortunately, because I want the... Oh, darkness, no? Well, I am critting, for sure. As you can see, it is working to some degree. Let's see. And I'm gonna use this. Don't move. Nice. Now, my 2 stacks, let's increase those stacks. 3 stacks, 4 stacks, 5 stacks, 6 stacks. Nice. And I still want more stacks. 7 stacks. Okay, there we go. Nice, nice, nice. Come on, Annerose. Maybe, if you're willing to, you can change between Astaroth and Annerose so that you are able to use the skills optimally between one and the other. But I don't like that idea that much, so I'm not doing it. So I'm gonna use the ultimate. And there we go. Nice. And I have 7 stacks. I just have to keep them. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Come on. And... okay. Come on, Annerose. Use your darkness. There we go. Darkness with this skill. And look at that damage. The crits. It is great, the combo. As long as you don't have damage reduction for suppress, you should be fine. Because 2 of your main attackers are suppress. So yeah, it is really, really strong. But unfortunately, there's a lot of limited stuff here. We have that Spinel character release limited supporter. That's one. For weapons, Astaroth doesn't have limited weapons. That's cool. We do have the limited weapon. No, not the weapon. The limited supporters, both from Lapis pack, Lapis set, and Annerose set. That's 2 limited supporters over there. 3 with the Spinel. And here, I am using Kirara, but Kirara is not necessary. We already mentioned that you can substitute it with Arabella. But Lapis, I mean, it's good to have, which is limited. That's another limited. But as I mentioned, if I had a better option that increased the damage of the whole team, I would be using that. And yeah, the limited weapon here. This one is affecting the gameplay. So yeah, it matters. We have a ton of limited stuff here. It is not F2B friendly. But, I mean, you can achieve these kind of synergies with other limited sets. It's not that you have to have this one in a specific. Just that you can combine them in very interesting ways with your characters to make good synergies. Now, let's check what happens if we go green, because we can go green. The difference is going to be that we're gonna be changing Hellfire for Lava Servant. I mean, you can use any skill that you want. You could use Phoenix Dive to get a damage increase. That's also an option. In fact, I will, because I am not evading that much and I prefer something more proactive. Or you can combine both if you want. So, we're using Darkson Astaroth here. Or you can substitute Darkson Astaroth depending on your account for Celestial Fox Sora. They are going to give you both the same amount of damage increase, which is great. In fact, Sora is way better because she also affects your skills, while Astaroth is giving you 30 for everything and 80 for basics. Then we have Misaki and we have Nano. I mean, if you don't have Nano, I do not recommend that you equip Kaoru, because not all your hits are going to crit. Maybe Akane is not a bad option, because you get a 20% damage increase and a 50 if you're critting, so that's okay-ish. So let's see. Yeah, Akane is actually a very good option, but I prefer consistency. That's why I use Nano. So let's go with green on 95. And there's other characters that you can use, because this is specifically for demons, all the synergies that I have with these 2 limited packs. Let's see. No, I forgot. I have to do this. The dash. Let's see. But you can use other attackers. You can use, for example, Lina. Lina is an excellent choice. You can use Spinel. Spinel is another great choice because she has the weapon Anon Red, which she can use her character release supporter. She can help out the party with damage. She's going to debuff the enemy with damage with defense reduction. So she's really, really strong on red. Let's see. I mean, my Ingrid is not strong enough. I mean, she's strong. My Ingrid is strong, but not strong enough compared to some other players' Ingrids. So that's another character that you can use, but I am not too sure on how to use her. Like, ever since her renewal, I have avoided her because of the basic attack fiasco. So let's see. And we position our stuff properly, and I haven't seen the... Oh, that. Exactly that. Darkness. Recommendation, don't use darkness when the enemy has... when you don't use your ultimate when your Annerose use darkness. I mean, you could try to skip the animation, but you're gonna lose too much advantage in my opinion. I do not recommend it. Let's see, a little bit of this, and we have a little bit over a minute, so probably can do it. And even though I have suppress type damage reduction. Let's see, come on, super armor, yeah. And we position ourselves like this, and look at those crits and that damage. So yeah, crits on VR now are things thanks to Gremory supporting the crits so much. I mean, for normal content, now crits are gonna be way too OP, and for VR, now they are viable on some strategies, not all of them. The only thing that is very generic is Annerose mixed with the Momochi weapons. I'm never gonna stop saying that, but I mean, it's just too good. So, very quickly, let's change that character over here. And let's see, who is a great option? Let's see. No, not suppress, demon. This and this. So, a great option would be to use Spinel because she also has an anti-demon weapon, a Wicked Star weapon. I mean, technically Felicia, but she relies too much on that critical rate increase, so I don't think it's ideal. Obor is probably great. I mean, she is already good enough by herself, so she's a viable component to the strategy if you have enough S levels on your weapons. Phantasma. I tested her, and she does deal a good amount of damage, but on red she's kind of slow for you to pilot her. Like, unless you give her the dash attack, which increases her speed, and maybe a supporter that increases speed. Eleanor is another great option. Like, her damage is not the best. If you have Treasure of the Deep Sea, then she's gonna be a better attacker than mine. But she's better for dealing with waves of enemies because of the AoE that she has. Another great option, Lina. Yeah, of course. Let's test it with Lina. Lina is great on red because she's going to be able to reduce the defense of the enemy. And I originally I wanted to use Sakura Tempest, but guess what? Sakura Tempest is not better than the Butterfly weapon because this gives you 50% critical damage increase, and this gives you 2 per stack, and you can get 50 stacks. That's 100% critical damage increase, 20% speed increase, and with the basic enhancer you're gonna reach that 100% critical damage increase. No debate. As simple as that. Yeah. Just verifying that, and we're gonna be using... I mean, I'm gonna equip Lina again. I'm gonna equip Susune. Since Lina, the Lina that I'm building, is not going to be dealing with waves of enemies, I'm not equipping... what's the name? Fuyutsuki. You can if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it. You can use, of course, White Feather Asuka. You don't get benefits from using it other than the super armor rake, but that's also good. You can use this one actually, like, depending on what you want. You can use Barretta, although I wouldn't suggest that you put her on the main. You can also use Shiranui, but you don't get the most value because most of the damage that this character gets is mix. So you have to put it on the main to get the most value with this one. You can equip, of course, Yukina. Where is the other one? Holy Knight Kirara. I'm gonna go with Yukin. No, Yukina no. The problem is the basic enhancers. So I guess that I'm going with, well, Barretta. Oh, better than Barretta. Shirayuki. Shirayuki. It's the best option. And one thing, the skills. For the skills, we want to use, without a doubt, Cherry Blossom Storm and Cherry Unorthodox Storm Machine Cherry Blossom. The basic enhancer that gives you speed, and the pure red skill. But on the third slot, you can equip whatever you want. Just remember that a Blinding Storm isn't the best skill to use when fighting Queen Arachne, because she's way too bulky and you're gonna teleport to the other side, thus not dealing damage, thus not killing. So if you want to change this, it's completely fine. Actually, I'm gonna use Storm Drive because it's going to give me another defense reduction to deal with the enemy faster. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be using. The stats of the custom, the stats of the stat training. Both weapons 5 out of 5. This one plus 14, this one plus 15. You know, the Magatamas are the same as Astaroth. And yep, let's test it. So yeah, thankfully, thanks to Lapis, I can just give up those recovery options, HP recovery options, because they are worthless against this specific boss. And look, I'm critting every now and then. There, nice. And I want to do the stacks and also use this. Perfect. Nice, nice, nice. Unfortunately, like, perhaps my damage isn't the best still. But let's see if I can... oh, oof! No, I see. I'm not going to beat this. I mean, I could try, but it's gonna be very, very bad for me. Because we have HP from the boss, HP increase for the boss, as well as damage reduction. So I'm gonna give it up because I don't think it's worth it. If I had one of the effects, I probably would be able to beat it. But with the two of them together, I don't think this strategy is going to work. Yeah, like being able to beat two stage effects, which are really disadvantages for you, is gonna be kind of hard. So yeah, like this, and we try to melt the enemy. As fast as we can. Constant defense reduction. And I didn't even use the active when I had the active for Astaroth with... who is it? No, I'm not gonna be able to beat it. Like, my Lina is not as strong as my Astaroth, for sure. It's because of the customs. Oh, but look at those crits. Yeah, I mean, I can see how far I get. I don't think I'm gonna beat it, but just for the fun of it. Because even so, it's gonna be like by a little that I don't beat it. So 1, 2, 3, nice, nice. Use those attacks. Okay. Nice. Unfortunate that the enemy may move around if you don't have enough damage. And I mean move around in the sense that they are not in the AoE of darkness. Okay, nice. Maybe-ish I can do something. I can manage, maybe. But I have to hurry up. Hurry up. Like super hurry up. Let's see those spiders. Oh no, I don't think so. It's still alive. Oh, okay. No, I'm not gonna do it, but I tried. Yeah, so that's basically the strategy. You can use whichever demon type character you want, because this particular crit strategy is going to enhance demons. It is the most enhanced archetype, or no, trait that we have. Oof. And just by a little. I mean, I know, like, that's still a lot, but it is not that much. Like 5,000. Yeah, what a shame. Yeah, unfortunately, I think the only character that is going to be able to beat 100 is going to be Astaroth. But, I mean, these are competent characters. Another good option is Spinel. But on red, she's slow, so I won't use her. If you have a good S level for Treasure of the Deep Sea, then Eleanor is another viable option. So, basically that's about it, guys. I'm going to do more runs just to show you that. Oops. I think that I didn't move anything because these are crit magatamas. Yeah, and farming supporters. So, I probably didn't move anything from the other ones. So let's see how far I can get very quickly, and that's about it. Yeah, like 6 minutes or maybe 10 minutes. Oops, I forgot to change Lava Servant. I mean, I can still use Lava Servant, why not? But I think that Phoenix is the better option because it's more proactive. And you don't have to wait for the enemy and time your dodge perfectly, even though it is enhanced by the weapon. And I do get a ton of advantage by reducing the speed of the enemy. Okay, and done. And I have suppressed type character damage reduction. Unfortunately, but still. Let's see, this one. The bunnies. Let's see. Come. Stop moving. There. And I use the ultimate. And I'm going to see the animation. Because right now I do want to see the animation to get advantage on the cooldown of the supporter. And Annerose, would you like to use your skills? Would you like to use darkness? Yeah, like that's the only issue with this strategy, that the AI is not the smartest thing in the world and it's not using darkness ASAP. Or perhaps darkness cooldown is too long. I mean, it's balanced, but I would prefer if the effect lasted a little bit longer. Like, the cooldown itself is fine, the duration of the effect could be longer. Okay, and one more. Come on, there. And also the active, nice. I'm gonna keep it without the ultimate, only as a last resort I'll use it. Because I get more advantage by letting Lapis give those debuffs up. Okay, okay, come on, come on, come on. And ultimate. Wow, he didn't do that much damage. But I managed. So, step 90, step 97. I want to see those crits in step 100. Okay, this has HP boss up and protect type characters damage reduction. Which, I mean, Lapis is protect, but I think I can manage because the other two DPS are suppress. So most of my damage is gonna be fine. Oh yeah, I wanted to change that skill, but even so, it's pretty easy to use as long as the enemy uses the spider webs. Okay, 1, 2, there we go. Yeah, and less than a minute. Less than a minute. That's excellent. That means that I'm going to be able to beat it. Like this. And also the ultimate. And I'm going to wait for the whole animation so that I can use my active once again. Active. Nice. Come on, use darkness. Okay, darkness, there we go. So here I do not stop. Oh, come on. No. Well, even so, my time is great. Like a minute and a half, a minute 20. Let's see if I'm able to advance two steps in one go. Pa pa pa. And done. So yeah, guys, tell me what other combos for limited equipment do you use on VR? Like combos that have great synergies. Like obviously, there's gonna be comments on White Feather Asuka with something else because that's just the best supporter in the game. But what other combinations do you do, and against which VR bosses? For example, machines are very, very weak against Snare. So using both Noah's character release supporter, and maybe Sakura's limited set supporter is an option. Another strong option that I know about, I mean, of course, Sora for any range builds is gonna be amazing. But being green, who can take advantage of green? Like abuse that color? I don't know. Let's see. I mean, perhaps Sora, but I haven't played that much with Sora because I'm still leveling her up, or well, getting gems so that I can level her up. Like I had to level up Tokiko since she had her renewal, but I really, really, really want to level up Sora because I keep hearing that she's one of the best ranged characters in the game. And I don't doubt that that's the case, but I just cannot see it when she's level 77, I think. Okay, the time is good. Within less than a minute, I'm able to defeat Queen Arachne. So, there we go. Active. Ultimate. and I see the animation so that I can take away those debuffs. And I also use this. Nice. Come on, Annerose, use your darkness. Really? Really? She always uses darkness on the worst moment. The worst possible time. Why? Let's see. Nice. Just a little bit more. And done. So yeah, like the only thing that would make this strategy, well, there are two things that would make this strategy way more valuable. Number one, a blue option for reducing the cooldown of the skills. That would be great. Number two, another supporter that increase the party's critical rate, critical damage, or damage overall. Like, that would be amazing. Unfortunately, we don't have that right now, and I'll have to settle for using the Lapis, character release Lapis, the ones which increases the defense of the party, which is not a bad thing. Trust me. Like, sometimes, depending on how the AI plays, you may be very, very near dying. Like, it happened to me a couple times when testing this strategy. And more Magatamas, really? Really? Can we reach that crit on step 1 hold? Ooh. No hindrance. Nice. Nice. There we go. Come on, use your... Perfect. Melt it. Melting this character. Yeah. Yeah, the synergy with the demons is just that strong. With those limited equipment. We need more F2P options that provide similar effects. Like, we already have really strong F2P supporters in the game. And not just the ones in the gacha, but also the event ones. Like Onigumo is amazing. Who else? Nana is amazing. Lilim is amazing. Oh, come on. Who else? Of course, Misaki is great. Who else? Sakuya is also good. It's not as good as Nana, but still good. We have so many options in the game. There's Sharia. There's Aina for defense. There's Akina. There's Arabella. Like, there's too many good supporters, and those were given to us for free in events. But let's hope that Gremory start adding... Like, they have added supporters that focus on VR and are for battles where there are multiple Taimanin. But we kind of need more damage increase, critical rate, or damage reduction passives on those supporters. Extra passives, the ones on the active. And super armor. Yep, there we go. Nice. Easy peasy. And let's crit on 100. Or, well, 101. That works. I shouldn't do it, but I'll do it. Like, there's no benefit for going beyond 100 other than the merit of doing so. Like, the rewards are not going to increase if you pass 100. There we go. And use the active. And please give me that darkness, Annerose. So that my basics can melt the enemy. Yeah, that's why, even though it's possible, I do not recommend that you use supporters that give critical damage, dedicated critical damage. it's better to just go for damage increase overall. And oh, come on, I was about to. There. I almost defeat her before she attacked me. Nice, nice. And yeah. Because crits in VR now are viable. And I mean really viable. It's not like I crit 100% of times, but whenever darkness is active, it's, yeah, I basically crit all my hits. Okay. We just use this, and I'm gonna use the ultimate, but I don't need to see the animation. Because I'm not gonna use the active of the supporter on this wave for Queen Arachne. It's gonna be on the third one. So yeah, it is okay to skip the animation sometimes depending on how you plan to use your active. And there we go. Come on and use darkness. Nice. Don't! Why do you get away from darkness? Well, yeah, you can see, even without darkness, I'm still creating every now and then. And it's consistent enough to take advantage of the supporters that I'm using, those critical rate supporters. Well, I mean, they are not dedicated for critical rate. They have it on the extra passive, it's an extra effect, but it's good enough. So yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, if you can use this strategy. I know it's like very difficult to have all this limited equipment, or what other limited equipment really convince you and you dedicate yourself to make special strategies. Like, I have seen some surprising things, some surprising builds with standard equipment, limited equipment, and the most amazing one is going to be the SR. I always neglect SR support equipment, and for example, Tokiko has this SR weapon which reduces, well, normal attacks increase damage dealt to the target, which it is pretty good. At 40% damage increase is amazing. I mean, perhaps you can get more with this. It is stack up to 5 times. No! Increase damage taken by 40. You get more benefit with an SR weapon. I mean, it depends. If you build her as a tank, healer, supporter, then yes, this is gonna be better. But if you build her as an attacker, this one is gonna be better because of the stats. So yeah, let me know in the comments what kind of builds do you use with limited equipment, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!